It looks like the warm weather is here to stay in Chicago, and that's great news for everyone, but especially seasonal business owners who count on the summer for their income. So many Chicagoans come down these very steps from the State and Lake CTA station every day as part of their commute. But since the pandemic, that commute has been more difficult with service cuts and safety issues. Now, some Chicago City Council members are looking to hold the CTA president accountable for these problems. I'm outside the Streetwise office in the near South Side, and here, the Streetwise mission goes beyond just selling magazines, because here, vendors can get a hot meal, a clean bathroom, and above all, a sense of community. Migrants living at the Armory told me the conditions inside are good, and some have been told they can stay another 2 months. However, many have been forced to panhandle to support their families. For as impressive as Hillcrest grad Bucky Irving is on the field, he's even more impressive off it. The Olympics have highlighted many of the world's major issues, from racism to sexism, terrorism, global tension, war, even pandemics. It's really had it all. There certainly are, Jasmine, and I spoke to a couple of them, one member of the men's national team and one Olympic hopeful on the women's side. This is where Irving got his start, Hillcrest High School in Country Club Hills. And he truly burst onto the scene with a nearly 400-yard, 4-touchdown performance against rival Lamont in his sophomore season. Service is down, and crime is up on CTA compared to pre-pandemic levels. Some Chicago City Council members have had enough.
This has been a long time coming to hold our President Dorval Carter accountable for the things that he has been talking about for a while now.
Manah Hoppenworth is one of over 20 alder people who have signed a resolution to remove CTA President Dorval Carter. The resolution claims CTA rail services have been cut by 22% since 2019. It also says that the agency is facing major staffing deficits and safety challenges.
It's been the number one thing that my constituents have been talking about since the campaign trail. Everybody talks about the soul of Chicago, but really you need to talk about the heartbeat too, and I think that transit is that. And we're just not seeing that change right now happen.
Frequent CTA riders agree that the agency needs to improve its safety and service.
I feel like there needs to be better communication, better directions, more safety.
There's a lot of safety issues. That's why they should have like security guards around.
You'll show up and there'll be delays and stuff like that. You just have to rely on something that is not reliable.
Some of the riders called for shakeups at the CTA.
The old leader not doing what he's supposed to do, and his time is up.
I think it's time for some change.
The resolution to remove Carter is expected to be introduced at this week's City Council meeting. For Chicago This Week, I'm King Jemison.
Streetwise has been a tremendous help.
That's Keith Hardiman. He's experienced homelessness for much of his adult life. But about 20 years ago, he became a Streetwise vendor. He credits the organization for helping him turn his life around. He's not alone.
I've been with Streetwise going on like 13 years. It's been a wonderful experience.
Streetwise, it's my job. I mean, I take this very seriously.
Thank God I don't go a day hungry. I'll put it that way.
Streetwise creates news magazines centering the experience of the unhoused. New vendors get 15 free magazines. After that, they can buy them for $1.15 each, and then sell them for $3. Some of the vendors say this opportunity has changed their lives.
Well, ever since then, I haven't been broke.
Because I was homeless, I had no money, nowhere to stay. I found Streetwise. Eventually, I figured out how to save money, give me a place to stay, do the right thing.
And this has been keeping me sober. Every time I thought about getting high or drinking, I would come out and sell Streetwise. Streetwise, how you doing, man? Hey, how about Streetwise, how you doing?
The need for Streetwise is perhaps greater than ever. The Chicago Coalition for the Homeless estimates there are 68,000 people experiencing homelessness in Chicago today. That number may be going up.
I feel like street homelessness is the worst I've ever seen it in the last 10 years.
I mean, we're also seeing incredible increases in rent prices and general inflation. Wages are simply not keeping up with that. This is a crisis that will continue to worsen unless we put some real money forward to address homelessness.
I'm outside the Streetwise office in the near South Side, and here, the Streetwise mission goes beyond just selling magazines, because here, vendors can get a hot meal, a clean bathroom, and above all, a sense of community.
This is really the center, the heartbeat of Streetwise. And unfortunately, homelessness, people feel it's a personal failing. And so there's a lot of judgment and misperceptions that go around that. But when they come here, all of those misperceptions fall away.
We have one of our vendors that said this is the last house on the block. When there's no other place to go, you can come here.
One of the most powerful aspects of Streetwise is that it builds connections between vendors and the surrounding community.
My favorite part is the people, the expressions, the smiles. You know, that does me a lot of good.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
So by having these day-to-day interactions with Streetwise vendors, it can paint a slightly different picture for the public of unhoused people are just like us.
Experts say one of the keys to ending homelessness is building empathy for the unhoused.
You know, it's easy to ignore that and think it's not my problem. Paying attention and thinking of people experiencing homelessness as our neighbors rather than the homeless is a big part of it.
In reality, many people throughout the city are living on the brink of homelessness.
About 50% of Chicagoans are living rent burdened right now. Homelessness is becoming a threat to a large swath of Chicagoans.
Streetwise is by no means a blanket solution to this problem. But speaking to vendors, it is clear that working for Streetwise can restore a critical sense of confidence and dignity.
My life became different because, first of all, Streetwise is a responsibility. When you're talking about being your own boss.
Hey, I'm a businessman.
The Streetwise motto is a hand up, not a handout. For some of these vendors, that hand up might have saved their lives.
Thanks Streetwise. Without Streetwise, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have made it without Streetwise. Thank you.
Streetwise has played a part in countless stories like this over nearly 32 years. In Chicago, I'm King Jemison for Medill Reports.